ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the UKLC. My name is Jake Kiprain Matthews, also joined by Munch and Orcs once again as XL were able to pull it back one more time, getting themselves not perfect.
Do you know what?
Perfect loss, sorry.
I'm really happy that this has happened though, because my God, we had the first two games so close. Game number 3, I was nervous going into it because it had been close, and then it started to get less close. And then going into game 3, you're like, okay, this had all of the symptoms of a 3-0, you know, the mental breaks, and it all starts to fall apart. But no, XL stays strong, go into game 3, managed to take one, and now the momentum is on their side.
And that's the thing, is that you have the veteran status on XL. I think that came into it pretty huge, the fact that they can sort of break it down and go, look, yes, we're 2-0 down, doesn't mean anything, focus on this next game, take it one game at a time, and it looks like that's what they've done, and it's worked successfully in this last one.
And just before we get going into our 4th picks and bans, we actually want to shout out to our 4th sponsor, Chill Blast PCs, been supplying us with all of our computers that the teams are playing on. So if you're looking to get yourself a nice new gaming PC, you can head over to their website and check out all of the deals and all of the goodies they've got going on over there. I quite like Chill Blast, actually. They don't look like gaming computers. That's what's cool about it. I mean, they have like kind of gaming style, but it's not like in your face. It's quite sleek and
I had a peek before when Taxa was warming up, and there was a cool 400 FPS, so definitely
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all.
Yeah, and especially if you're one of these pros that plays on like minimum settings, it always makes me laugh when you see like in the LEC or whatever, you've got these pros that are playing on literally minimum settings because it's what they're used to, and they're playing on these beastly PCs like what Chill Blast has provided for us, and it's just like they're probably in the 700s FPS.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big factor as well is ensuring that irrespective of how hectic things get, there's low stress, and it also cuts down the amount of clutter in teamfights, because we saw definitely in that last game, there can be a lot of clutter in teamfights, a lot of particle effects. If you have that up to max, it's not just the load on the computer, but it's how distracting it can be.
Yeah, and it's getting more and more the more the game evolves.
I mean, every fight has been an absolute, it's just like, people are just lobbing sticks of dynamite into the middle of the fight. Everything is just going off at once. It's so fun to watch this series.
Yeah, this patch is great fun to watch, but also it's like so different to classic League of Legends. We don't have the same just front-to-back team fights. Protect the AD carry, protect your mid laner, the rest are tanks, and we'll just see how this pans out. This is so much more diverse. You have all kinds of flanks coming in. We have diverse top lane picks coming on through. We've had things like the Kiana that can single-handedly impact a game, not just these kind of more boring tanks in the top lane. We're having all kinds of variety, and we get to see these players really strut their stuff because you can lock in carries in every single lane.
Limit testing was the term we used for Bando, I believe, and it feels like everybody in these teams are limit testing. They are really pushing themselves to their absolute maximum. And it's so good to see that it's not like one team is just that much better than the other. Because I think even if Fnatic had 3-0'd XL, and we were now just done with the series, I still think we would have had a fantastic series, purely because we've seen Sendo play out of his mind, especially in that last game. Every player has been hitting these marks, and it has been really, really fun to watch, kind of hit players. You know, these players doing things that I'm not even capable of thinking about doing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's pushing these limits, which can put you the extra mile. But it's also finding new ways to punish your enemies, because there's a lot of plays that you can go through consistently time and time again and think, this will work, this will work, this will work. And there's some new inventive way, like the triple TP coming in from Fnatic when they managed to flank in game 2 and punish that Baron.
Yeah.
That's a bold one to think of, especially, I mean, it was perfectly synergized, the fact that all 3 came in at the exact same timing. But it's things like these new imaginative ways, bringing them out on stage to punish what your opponent does.
And just look there on the camera as well. Morale is high in the XL camp right now, as it should be off of a game like that. But when we've got the performances out of Kiana, out of Taxa as well, I mean, the whole squad really leveled up going into that game, but Taxa especially. Taxa just did such an exceptional job throughout that entire game, to the point where you have to wonder whether Jarvan goes up in priority in this series now.
I mean, I think even in the Lee Sin games, he was still doing a ton for his team. But I feel like the problem is you fall off in the later stages, you're not going to have as much impact. I feel like put him on one of these team fighters that can still impact early, like the Jarvan, maybe the Sylas, and you're golden.
Well, we're into picks and bans for Game 4. XL are going to be on that blue side. Fnatic opting into the red side. Kiana, Sylas, and Gragas going to be banned away, while Fnatic shoot out the Cassiopeia, the Heimerdinger, One more ban to go.
The fact that you just have to respect ban the Cassiopeia and the Heimerdinger basically every game is such a huge buff for the likes of XL.
This has been the same bans every single game for Fnatic Rising. It's adapted a bit for XL, but Fnatic just said, we're not playing against this at all. And they're not, but all 3 of their first round bans going. And this is a mirrored draft from their last game. XL picking up that Akali rotation 1, and then Fnatic,
blocks.
Bit of a change. Last time they went for the Aatrox and the Karma. Here they go Aatrox Xayah, getting that in the hands of Xmati. Instant locking on the Kai'Sa. Question's going to be for XL. They're going to take the Gnar, and that leaves the Rakan open for Ronaldo.
I'd love the Rakan here, and then an instant ban on that Jarvan by Fnatic. I think that'd be a great way to start out this pick and bans. I have to see if they decide to go for that. Ronaldo has looked very good on that Rakan and looked very comfortable on that champion. They are thinking about it.
It's interesting to me that you would pick up the Gnar here instead of denying something like the Rakan. Actually, it's going to be Camille that's locked in. But the reason that the Gnar is interesting is it shows that the Akali is in that mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, they did this before. They cemented exactly where it was going to be. They're confident in showing off the solo lanes. XL have cut down the flexibility. They're looking to outplay in terms of raw prowess and their strength in the early game. Fnatic, pretty strange adaptation. They are going to ban away the Jarvan like you suggested. XL taking away that Sejuani, which is a good shout considering the synergy between that Camille and that Aatrox. Bit of surprise considering they're probably going to take the Sejuani here and then gone for the Camille later. Going a different direction with this draft. This could be a flex, remember. Mid lane Camille was played a little bit on the previous patches. Can interchange with that Aatrox on the top side. Now looking for another ban. Going to once again take that Olaf away from XL. I expect to see the Rakan ban come in here to deny that from Ronaldo. I guess we'll have to see what XL want to go towards.
Yeah, more jungle is taken off the board here. And I'm curious what this last ban will be. It is actually the Rakan in the end. And now Matty has to decide what he's going to go for. The jungle picks are starting to run thin on the ground here.
Yeah, I think you just take the jungler here. They take at least something that NG has a lot of proactivity on in the early game. It means that, yes, XL can take what jungler they want here, but the pool's being cut down so heavily.
Lee Sin is available for Taxa.
Yeah, it probably has to be that Lee Sin in this condition, unless you want to go for something drastically different and new. And then it leaves for Fnatic Rising, they can take a support counter pick to see what XL go up against them with. It could again be the Pantheon, or could be something else completely.
I think it's just been such a solid pick for Kasing. Just going to take that away, quite happy. They get the Pantheon for him. Now XL looking around at their comp. They're looking for a jungler. The Jarvan was so big for Taxa. That's now been denied. Lee Sin has been left open. And while he's had some pretty good success, he's had problems in transitioning that success on the Lee Sin early into these mid to late game stages.
Worth mentioning, Pyke is still available right now. Ronaldo could go for the Pyke if he so chose. Lee Sin will be locked in. That could be a really nice way to round out this composition from Fnatic Rising.
Got to ask yourself, how will the Pyke fare up against that bot lane? Instant Sun from Pantheon can be a problem. Comes down to what Fnatic want to use. They did take the Morgana up against the Pantheon before, but Ronaldo didn't look the most practiced on that champion. Instead, going to go for the Fiddlesticks, a throwback to what he played in the UKLC. And this does mean if Jordan tries to dive in, if XL tries to dive in, it's a point-and-click fear. No outplay. QSS will have to be invested in if you want to deal with that.
Well, we've seen Ronaldo do pretty magical things on the Fiddlesticks before, and I expect the same here today. Fnatic Rising 2-1 up in the series right now, but we have our composition locked in. And honestly, this one doesn't feel one-sided. Honestly, both teams scale very well. Both teams can skirmish in the early game. This is looking to be an incredibly close matchup.
I think it's going to come massively down to what the junglers can do in the early game. We have Elise against Lee Sin, both strong early junglers. We have a top lane matchup which could snowball out of control. Camille could be a liability later on if she gets ahead and is constantly split pushing against you. But again, the big thing for me is these 80 carries. Kai'Sa, Xayah, these are the two premier picks in the current meta. But if one of them snowballs, it becomes a massive issue for the other one. Xayah has that safety from the ultimate and also the burst that can come down with the crit. But Kai'Sa, we've seen how much damage you can do in the last game, especially off the back of those Void Seekers.
The Void Seekers last game from Yarden were terrifying. But one of the most important things in this matchup, if we do end up going to another 40-minute style game, in the later stages, if that Void Seeker can land onto the backline, Kai'Sa will 100% beat Xayah in that 1v1. Every single time. We've seen it before in this kind of matchup. The Kai'Sa can prevail later on in the game. The question is, can Xayah play can she position correctly so that assassination can't come through?
And then the big comparative thing, though, is in team fights, the Xayah can very easily just kite backwards, keep putting feathers down. Even with the lead he had, we saw the Kai'Sa struggle in some team fights and get zoned.
Well, we're loading through into Game 4 of the UKLC Grand Finals. XL were able to bite back in Game 3. Can Fnatic turn it around? Can they give themselves their win? Or is this the beginning of a reverse sweep for XL?
It's time to find out. The crowd is here. Everybody, I have to say, shout out to you guys. You've been so impressive over the course of today. I love hearing the UK crowd come out in force. And you can hear XL have got some support coming into this one. Fnatic, 2-1 up. They're going to be over on your red side. But XL, they won the last game. They're looking to keep things going here. Taxa on his signature pick. Hjarnan on this Kai'Sa once again. It certainly could look to be good. And Kasing maybe making these level 1 plays once more.
We've seen it before. The level 1 from Pantheon so potent. You use that W, that shield bash, stun them down, get the triple ultra attack. So easy to go for. And now, Ward will spot them out, so XMI are aware of this, but they can still go for the invade and get this blue.
Yeah, but at least they have the knowledge of this time. So NG will be able to just free invade into Taxa's side. And this does mean that we might see a bit of a split down the center of the map. Which means NG might want to be spending some time towards the top side, and Taxa might just look to try and see if he can make something happen in this bot lane.
But at least in this situation, it's drastically different to last game when Taxa invaded because NG's aware. He knows what's going on, so he instantly paths over to Taxa's blue side of the jungle. He's going to be able to counteract that, and instead of having 3 sides of the jungle stolen away by Taxa, we're going to have some split jungling here, where the top side of the map is being sacrificed over to NG, and the bot side over to Taxa, which does mean a lot of pressure is going to be put down on XMighty and Ronaldo. You can see already, despite being in the lane first, they are paying so much respect because they're aware that the XL jungler is just around the corner.
Any amount of poke damage they take, any chip damage, means that tower dive that they've been doing with this Pantheon early will basically secure their death. So they do just step away for the moment.
I will say, though, talking tower dives, Elise is very potent at them. And if you find the mini-Gnar, it's super easy setup with the Camille. So that's something that also Sendo has to be cautious of on the top side. Because, yes, they have afforded all this pressure down bot by Taxa splitting the map, but just as easy could go and return him with a chunk like that. I think Fnatic are going to look for it, but you can see XL already walked over.
Cocoon goes a little bit wide. Now they're looking to go on. Gets himself the hop over, the repel up, trying to get into XL's range. NG's forced to flash away. Bando putting the damage down. Can he find first blood? No, he can't. XL the shuriken flip slides back in. Bando makes his way out, and that's double buffs to Exile.
What a play coming out, and now a dive in the bottom lane as well. Matty flashes to safety. Ronaldo will walk away as well. And now Kasing pulled back by the Infernal Chains. It's Matty grabbing one to answer, but Magic Felix isn't done just yet. But whether he likes it or not, Taxa's going to get away.
Both mid laners coming in clutch to counteract those dives. Exile roams up, Magic Felix TPs, and in the end, things slightly in favor of Fnatic, but not by much.
It's quite hard to dive on Fiddlesticks. He has an AoE silence and he has that fear. And you can see it definitely bit them in the bum there as they went for that dive. Sendo now in that mid lane, looking to see if he can deal with Magic Felix, and Ronaldo just invading into Taxa. He's just being a nuisance at the moment.
Really important that the carries from XL right now both have 10 to 15 CS leads in their favor.
NG seeing if he can find something onto Hjarnan here. Hjarnan, they get themselves a bit of a stun off. NG's looking for it. The Chilling Smite comes down. That's going to be the fear. The Cocoon, the CC is laid, and NG finds the kill.
No way of dodging that fear. Good punish coming out from Fnatic. They switch to the other side of the map.
Oh, no!
Magic Felix forced to flash away from that one. So close. And Exile is dominant in this mid lane right now.
And this is considering that Magic Felix TP'd bot, whereas Exile took the time to roam all the way up. He's doing so well in this matchup, and Magic Felix, who we praised so much, starting to struggle to be hit. Sing, he's looking for a play.
Doesn't realize NG's there. The Cocoon's on. That's going to be the venomous bite. The kill for Fnatic. They turn it around, though. It's a 1-for-1. Taxa has to flash out.
Oh my god, this game is delivering on so many levels. Already 6 kills coming in, but it's Fnatic that have an edge for now at least, but it's only 400 gold difference. These teams are trading so evenly.
And although the edge is over to Fnatic, the big liability is the mid lane. I mean, look at how far ahead Exile is. Level 6 and level 4, he already has that ultimate, the perfect execution. If he finds an all-in, MagiFelix is not going to have a fun time.
Doesn't find it though, so that's good.
But he's now going to roam, and that's bad.
And the Scuttle Crab did just pop his head back into the river. He's going to go for a swim. And Exile wants to find something. He's not going to be able to find it in the bottom lane right now, though. Hyanan just going to shove this one in and look for the reset. And when we look at the scoreboard right now, across the board, Bando's going pretty aggressive here onto Sendo, but I don't think he can win that trade. NG is around, though. Sendo will back away. He spotted him on the ward, and it's not going to happen for him. But when we look at the scoreboard for the 3rd time, Exile on double the CS of MagiFelix. So far in this series, MagiFelix has been an absolute staple for Fnatic, but right now, not performing.
And the thing is as well, it's the same in the bottom lane. Mighty has been handed off that kill and the 2 assists, which has kept him relevant. He's picked up the BF sword first back, but Hyanan massively ahead in CS, and now Sendo's about to hit Mega. Exile's here as well. Bando, not looking good.
Hook shots away. Exile lands a Shuriken flip. That's going to be the ult. He tries to dodge it out. Bando still alive. Flashes away. Here comes NG. Now you see Sendo hop forward. Can't find the Gnar. How does Bando keep doing this?
Oh my goodness, that was so close. In the bottom lane though, Flash Fear coming on through. Now we're going to be channeling that drain, but I'm not. It was a Hex Flash, so not that big of a cooldown.
Yeah, root just didn't connect on a Hyanan. The fear actually let him walk out of the root. I think it could have been a much closer trade if that had come in, but in the end, nothing to show for it. MagiFelix getting some alone time mid lane, has managed to close a massive amount of that CS gap, and that's the thing. Although that play didn't result in any kills for Fnatic in the top side, it costs that lead that Exile had built up. He had a massive CS advantage over MagiFelix, and this has now been closed drastically.
Certainly has. Stun underneath the tower. Ronaldo takes a massive chunk there.
And it's so hard to trade back on the Pantheon. You can just pop his Aegis Assault and block all that damage.
Well, meanwhile, Exile just pushing in this wave here into MagiFelix. Still, like you were saying, he was able to pull back some of that CS deficit, but it's still growing. And Exile now, we're going to see if he can make something happen towards this bot side of the map. Ronaldo actually cancelled his base there. Fnatic have a few reinforcements about, but Exile definitely got the quicker route towards that bot lane. Decided not to go for the play, though. And now MagiFelix is just going to spot out Exile.
Yeah, tanks are moving in towards this mid lane as well. I thought they were going to set up for the dragon there, but deciding that that's not the play right now. I think they could have got away with it, though. Everyone had recalled on the side of Fnatic.
I think the big thing for me is that investing so much time into a Cloud Dragon just really isn't worth it at this point. You want to be making the proactive plays for these plates. He's going between bot lane and mid lane trying to look for a play, and yes, he could go for the dragon, but it's such a massive time investment and the payoff is quite small. Fnatic are going to try and regain some control in this mid side, and actually they're going to stop the dragon themselves. Thing is they didn't have as many advantage in the bot side, so they're happy to take anything they can get. Dragon's fine for them. Whereas realistically, Exile are looking for bigger prizes. They'll take the reset, they'll take an opportunity to buy. And I feel like after this, they're going to be looking to secure as many plates as possible. I could even see them going for a lane swap, although Hyanan already walking in the bot side means this isn't going to be the case.
Exile toying with going in on MagiFelix, but the Deathbringer stance and the Darkened Blade does a lot of damage to him. Doesn't quite have that sustain yet. No Gunblade finished up. Bando, big CS lead over Sendo in this top side of the map. Ranged into melee really doesn't seem to be affecting him right now. But bot lane, we might see a gank.
NG coming in, but Exile knows he's there. They've been spotted. Flash Fit comes up through Cocoon to follow. Now they get the roots. Now they make the play they were looking for before. It's a double kill for Matty, but Exile is not finished just yet. He wants to go in, but flashes away. just can't make the play.
And Kasing tries to make the hero play, flashes in front of the Cocoon, but it just means they both go down.
He's going in.
Massively.
Drone storms down. That's going to be one picked up by Taxa, but X-Matty not going to get that one as Ronaldo gets him. XL lumps and jumps away. XL goes down. X-Matty showing up huge. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Sendo going for a fight versus Bando. It's just going to send him packing. Fnatic across the board come up big.
There's something beautiful about aggressive Xayah ults.
Something beautiful about that X-Matty pose where he puts his arms down. But
he looks like he's doing the Xayah ult, honestly.
4-0-3 now on this Xayah. The CS difference has been closed in the bot lane. And now Matty's going to recall with all this gold in the pocket. Going to be able to secure that Essence Reaver. Likely get Berserker Greaves as well. He's in such a comfortable position.
And like you were saying, when Fnatic, were taking that Drake, XL, they didn't really mind. They were just caring about getting the plates and the pressure in that lane. It's gone wrong. That gank has just cost them so heavily that what they wanted to play for in the bot lane isn't going to happen anymore. X-Matty has teleport, so he's able to get down quicker if he needs to, but he's quite happy running down with those Berserker Greaves. Empowered by the Cloud Drake, he's got enough movement speed not to give up too much in this bot lane, and probably just going to give up 1 or 2 plates.
And we could talk about the power spikes for these AD carries. We talked about how they're strong at different stages in the game, but ultimately, those power spikes don't matter as much when someone is 4-0-3. They're so far ahead of the curve on their opponent that your opponent's power spike is your normal level.
Well, the big thing with Kai'Sa is that she has cheaper items than the Xayah. She can pick up that Mirror Man as the first item. But the fact that you're still behind the items despite having the cheaper build path, it's not a good look right now for Shard, and he will be able to finish that off, but still, the item, the damage differential between the X-Matty is pretty staggering, and until you get the extra pickaxe, fight coming in here.
Yeah, going to use that perfect execution. Ronaldo has the fear, has the silence available. He's going to get chunked out. Uses his aftershot. Ronaldo launches in. That's one picked up for Fnatic already. Riftailed just going to join him for the moment. The Cocoon is there. Fnatic rising, looking to take out Kasing. Repel's going to get used to reset the aggro. Now Sendo has got that Mega Gnar stacking up. He might look for the play. He Gnar's out for the moment, but he's taking so much damage. Fnatic rising, just smash XL.
So much CC when you get caught by this Fnatic roster. There is no way out.
Yeah, the Fiddlesticks coming in clutch. Taxa trying to buy space for his teammates. Gets hit by the silence. And it just means there's so little you can do. So many champions on the side of XL relying on the mobility. You can see XL goes so deep here, and a few missed skill shots means they can't take out Magifelix. He tries to buy time in the Shroud. As soon as he comes out, Fear comes in, and then the silence on Taxa means no way for him to dash out. Kasing on this Pantheon, Aftershock's gone down, no way out again. XL without mobility, it's an easy 2-man dive, and it's just Fnatic finding advantage after advantage, and again, their team fighting, their skirmishing is stellar.
It's just exceptional play coming out from Fnatic, and the more I see it, the more I love this Fiddlesticks from Ronaldo. Completely denies both Exile and Taxa in that fight. There's nothing they can do.
I mean, X-Matty just zones Kasing and Kianan off 1v2. Comes out better for the trade. This guy is so fed at the moment.
And this is the power of the Xayah. You have that ult always offering safety. Bando might get caught out here.
Has got NG to back him up. Actually goes over that hook shot. Catches him out. The teleport's coming in. Taxa gets caught inside the baby cage. Magifelix jumps in. A big Gnar by Sendo, but he's caught inside the Infernal Chains. XL has joined up, and that's actually a teleport cancelled out by XL. The fight is getting really scrappy. Magifelix falls down. A stun connects, but Bando gets a hook shot over the wall. XL come up big. In comes Kasing, though. He gets stunned underneath the tower. Tower shot after tower shot is layering in, and NG's still alive. Finally goes down. Bando now looking to try and get something onto Exile, but I don't know if he can do it quite yet. He gets the hook shot off. Now Sendo should be able to tidy this one up. Bando goes down, and XL will walk away the victors of that team fight.
It's a scrappy one, but in the end, XL finally come out ahead. They bring more numbers, but in return, a lot of damage to this bot lane tower. It will go down. Still behind in gold, but XL absolutely showing some life here. They're not giving up on the series yet.
Fantastic stuff coming out from XL despite the gold deficit, still managing to find ways back into the game, and we can see Taxa starting to rack up those kills for himself. He's leading his team in gold aside from his mid laner Exile there. But ultimately, they still do have a bit of a hill to climb. 2,000 is the gold lead, but they're even in turrets, and the only Drake is a Cloud. So overall, in terms of objectives, this is dead even.
I mean, you say 2,000 gold lead, though. That's almost exclusively in the bot lane role. And I think that's why things are so concerning, because this Xayah is going to scale so well. Already picked up an extra BF sword and that stopwatch just for some bonus survivability. A lot of value being put on these skirmishes. And Fnatic, they're feeling confident. They're ahead in gold. And Ronaldo's looking to set up a play in the mid lane.
They're just running at Exile. Throws out the Shuriken flip to get away. That turret is looking pretty weak in that lane of Fnatic. They're just going to go and get themselves this Ocean Drake. Want that extra regen to work with for these sieges.
Now, I think it is important to mention that XL used a lot to win out that team fight. They did have a numbers advantage. Even outside of gold, in terms of composition on the game right now, it does still feel like Fnatic have an advantage. And that's the reason that they're able to just walk up to Drake, no contestation whatsoever. However, if XL can continue to find these situations, not lose too many objectives while there's a lead for Fnatic, it could look great. Speaking of situations, they're looking for a flank right now.
Yeah, but Fnatic just going to answer back. TP comes in.
All right, here we go. Fnatic grouping up all 5 of them here in the mid lane. Magifelix getting left behind a little bit, but it's Exile that's caught out. Engie, though, loses so much HP, and Exile just dashes away with his life comfortably. That was a teleport from Fnatic to achieve nothing.
I think it shows how scary this Akali is.
Oh, good cocoon. That might just be it. Exile gets caught inside the baby cage. Engie of a solid bait.
Exile trying to go for the big play, ends up getting caught out and overstepping, and this Akali, a lot of damage, a lot of burst, but isn't able to escape from the Camille. A bit of a weak Rift Tile being thrown down, Engie just running out of time, but this should mean Bando's able to push up this top side. No one currently in a position to answer. Could well be third turret of the game for Fnatic, and that would be all the outer towers down. Really solid position to be in terms of establishing control on the map. And it's so punishing when you have the likes of an Elise, the likes of Fiddlesticks. Magifelix looking to go in here.
Magifelix looking for a kill right now. Hjarnan cannot escape the Aatrox. What do you even do in that situation? And now looking for more. Ronaldo goes for the Crowstorm. Taxa trying to walk away, but the Fear will be back available in just a second. But Taxa's happy to take this 1v1 because Exile is coming on into Fear's on cooldown. Ronaldo will go down and Exile grabs the kill. Sendo is alone, but he's out of range.
Dodging away on that Featherstorm here. The knock-up doesn't find its mark. That's going to be the Venomous Spike to secure the kill. Sendo just bought so much time for Fnatic.
But look what's happened on the other side of the map. Bando taking towers, got 2 off the back of the Rift out. It was just a throw down from Engie. It was about a timeout. He went, whatever, I'll throw it down in top. They managed to get 2 towers from it on the back of that skirmish, which they traded fairly evenly in.
Gets a third charge off as well. That's how it will regen. It will regen. But solid across the board, really, for Fnatic there. 4-0-7. Xmatty is on this Xayah. Building towards that Infinity Edge.
My big concern now is that Camille. 5-1, Triforce Tiamat.
Yeah.
That is a champion very capable of split pushing. And it means that even if XL can start to take these favorable fights, there's always going to be that burden of what is Bando doing? What objectives is he taking on the other side of the map? He's already set up on the opposite side where he made that massive push. There is an outer tower left there. Comes down to Fnatic facilitating a split push, applying the pressure so that he can push freely and start to take these structures.
And one of the really difficult things about that Camille as well is Matty is also incredibly fed. Matty is going to do crazy damage in these team fights. So even if you find yourself in a 5v4, you have to get onto that AD carry. If Xayah is able to just free fire in the back, pull the Blade Caller through the entire team, it doesn't matter if she's outnumbered. That damage is absurd.
And I think setting up a death rush by the chicken camp, but XL also setting up a death rush onto Bando. Does have his flash available, and he's going very, very aggressive. The Void Seeker connects, but he has himself a hook shot to clear the wall. Hjarnan, that killer instinct was killer instinct.
Hey-oo.
Oh, Crowstorm coming in.
Now we go onto the mid lane. Exile will be ticking away during this through the Crowstorm. Out of his shroud and taken down. NG with another one.
XL had the second ult charge. He could have got out of that, but he decided not to. Now Bando.
Yeah, uses himself. The Hextech ultimated the pin him in place. Oh, Shannon with the shutdown. Takes out Bando. Meanwhile, Fnatic are just pushing up to the mid lane.
Yeah, there's 3 members on the bot side.
Imagine Felix
XL's
is top.
dead. Imagine Felix is pushing top, and remember that tower's already low.
He might actually just get this. I don't know if Sendo can contest this. Imagine Felix is just going to step away.
The minions should get
Minions.
Oh, they're not focusing it.
Oh, no.
Oh, one more caster.
Oh my. Minions,
Oh
man.
my
I'm
goodness.
not sure if that's the minions' fault. I'm not going to lie.
I blame them. Oh, actually, Fnatic going to go for a Baron rush here, but they've walked over a ward. They're starting it off, but NG going to take a ton of damage here.
XL looking to collapse. Let's see if that teleport's available. Bando not able to pull it off. Kasing looks to get one off. That's going to be the Feather Storm used by Xmaddie to make sure he doesn't take any damage. He's just going to make his way out.
That may well be enough for Shannon. Push up this mid lane, start to get some damage on the tower. Another wave coming in soon. Fnatic have given up so much. With that Baron attempt, they lose a lot of time in their favor. They had members on the map. They're having to recall. Magic Felix is coming, but he could get caught out.
Exile wants this 1v1 onto Magic Felix. The Void Seeker will tag him as well. Blast cone to safety. And NG gets out as well. Nicely escaped by Fnatic, but importantly, the jungler and mid lane are so low for Fnatic, but XL not looking for Baron yet.
And the extended play here has actually cost Fnatic a lot of their ultimates. The Feather Storm is down, the Void Ender is down, and that's Xmaddie. He just going down. He's got himself the stopwatch on the moment, flashes away the kick out. XL jumps onto him, tries to get the damage. Oh, Xmaddie! Ronaldo on the flank with the Crow Storm, doing a lot of damage. Bando puts them in place with the Hextech ultimatum. A massive, massive gnaw back just to disengage from Fnatic, but they are still hungry for this kill. Sendo about to lose his knives. He gets silenced, and Shannon running away from NG. He does have his repel available. He's going to flash, chilling smite him. Goes for the venomous bite. That's going to be the kill for him. And Fnatic coming up huge.
And they can just go for this Baron now. They've taken out the jungler, the mid laner, and the AD carry. They're free to start this up. It's only Kasing and Sendo to contest.
Yeah, they're going to be getting this Baron, and we've seen Ronaldo is a multi-role master across the course of this season, but now that he's sitting on support, you can tell he is so comfortable in this role. He's been so good this entire tournament, and now they've got the Baron in their bags, and Bando has found Sendu as well. He's going to go Mega Gnar, but there's not a whole lot he can do all on his own. Another kill for NG.
And Fnatic in control of this series. This is match point. They have the Baron, they're making the push. It's XL's game to defend. They have to find a way back in, but they're struggling so far. And a gauge on Xmaddie went horribly wrong. And we'll see how it panned out. So they feel like they got a favorable matchup here, but he uses a great stopwatch, and then the big thing is the flash here. Oh, actually going back to live. More is going on. Fnatic trying to take the base.
Shannon actually jumps in with that killer instinct. Ronaldo goes golden. They're trying to take down this turret. It is not going to fall again. Somehow it lives. Xmaddie uses that Feather Storm, trying to pin onto Shannon, who slivers away with just a tiny amount of HP. They do get a kick onto Xmaddie, followed up by Taxa. The shutdown's there. Magic Felix now has to try and turn it onto Kasing. Sendo joining up with him, and Shannon can just continue to snipe with these Void Seekers from the sideline. Sendo jumps forward, throws out the Q. This is going to be the Starfall coming forward onto NG. He gets pinned down and taken out, a shutdown by Shannon. Now Magic Felix, no ultimate and nowhere to go. Bando comes in, but he's done. What are Fnatic doing? This is just throwing the game out the window. Shannon somehow still alive in all of this mess, and it's a double kill.
Bando was split pushing the whole time. He was on the tier 2 tower of the bot lane, then after the team dies, he TP's in.
A massive mistake. Like, you could have just let your teammates die, take the tower, but Fnatic, they pull an XL and they throw away a lead by over-pushing. XL come back huge. A ton of shutdowns. We'll have a little breakdown. It's just an overcommit. Shannon grabs so much time and then goes invisible instantly with a supercharge. And from here on out, it's just a matter of clearing up. You can see Xmaddie trying to find Shannon, and the fact that he didn't kill him there with a Feather Storm comes in huge, because he's just constantly firing Void Seekers. And from this point on, Magic Felix is trying to find the damage, but he has to cut away, and Shannon, he's just playing Sniper Simulator here, just constantly firing shots off.
Yeah, very comfortable position for Jan, and the rest of the team comes in as well. Snipes out the kill with the Void Seeker, and then Magic Felix has nowhere to go.
And then the TP.
It's painful to watch.
I think the word we like to use, well, the phrase is suboptimal.
Suboptimal is definitely accurate. And now There are 3 Drakes in the pocket of Fnatic. They've got 2 Oceans and a Cloud. No Infernals or Mountains, luckily for XL. But this gold lead, 5,000, it's a lot smaller than it was earlier on in this game. They are still very much ahead. XL still have a bit of a hill to climb. Their inhibitor in the mid lane is down.
Big thing to note, though, there's a 2,000 gold difference between the supports alone. I really aren't too bothered about my Fiddlesticks having a 2,000 gold lead. It really doesn't change much.
Yeah.
So you can instantly whack that off the gold difference. And it means that XL on a pretty close playing field. You see Bando now waiting here for XL. Oh, he's just exposed himself, and they're looking for the play.
That's very, very bad situation, but he has that hook shot. XL jumps forward with a perfect execution. Bando, Shuriken flip's going to connect onto him, uses the ulti.
He gets it!
Bando!
And he's away!
Bando! Huge! What is Bando doing? How does he keep doing this?
Bando, the absolute beast, 1v3, and now Fnatic are activated in the bottom lane. No one's here to defend.
They are on to the turrets here and onto an inhibitor. Kasing is joining up. And Fnatic rising. They might have to back away now, though. The Void Seeker connects onto X-Matty Hyonan. Very optimistic. If he pulls the trigger, he does. Gets caught out.
down!
First down. Fnatic find the kill.
And Shauna goes for a play by himself. His team were trying to move in a different direction. This could be disastrous for XL.
Dragon's Rage used by Taxa as well. They're onto this inhibitor. Going to be able to take that down.
Here we go. 2 inhibitors have fallen. Sando about to go Mega Gnar, though. And it looks like Fnatic may have to back away in the end. Bando is just pushing the minion wave in the top lane, but it's so far away from the base. They can't do it just yet. Baron spawning in a minute and a half. Fnatic reset.
Bando, he honestly completely inted with the TP, but then making that play, bursting out XL and getting away with it. Taxa, we've praised him throughout this series, but missed 2 Sonic waves in a row. And even though Fnatic may still have gone for that push in the bot lane, it cost them so much they didn't manage to lock down this Camille. Fnatic still firing on all cylinders, and XL, they're behind in gold. This is potentially the last game of the series. They have to bring this one back.
This is potentially the last fight of the series, in all honesty. If Fnatic can manage to take this next team fight, if Matty can survive, if Ronaldo can get a good Crow Storm, it could all be curtains for XL. But they've proven, even just in this game, they can come back. The gold deficit not so significant at this stage, and now Gnar ultimate down in the bottom lane. Bando has been caught, kicked away, and finished off by Kasing.
They found him this time, but this is the last inhibitor on the top side. They have to move quickly to defend it. Mid lane's actually respawned, and it's only MagiFelix trying to push, so XL make that play and do manage to get away with it. Bando off the map for another 35 seconds. But what can XL do with this? They can't push the mid tower.
He doesn't have teleport, though, and Baron is going to spawn in 5 seconds' time.
They need more than just 1 kill to go for it. And the thing is, phase checking into NG and Ronaldo, so dangerous with their CC layering. Fnatic just going to back off, give up some of their vision control in the area. They're happy to let XL have some control and not give up any more kills.
Ronaldo has got that Crow Storm. Fnatic are aware that this has been started. XL, Shuriken flips over the wall to see if he can find a member. Unable to do so, so he goes for the teleport
Crow Storm.
They're actually inside the base. MagiFelix going for the back door. That's going to be the Crow Storm. This could be the fight. Sendo tries to get that damage off in time, but he is going to get caught out. Forced to use that GA. X-Matty's still got a full health bar as he takes down Hyonan. It's going to be a wonderful win, but X-Matty finds himself a double kill. He's teleporting into the base. Fnatic are going for the win right here.
It's cancelled.
It's going to be going so low. They do get that cancel out, but X-Matty is going to still get a kill.
There's no one left.
MagiFelix is taking the towers, is taking the base. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your UKLC Summer Champions, Fnatic rising.
Unbelievable fight coming out from Fnatic. The teleport, trying to get it in, but it's totally unnecessary. They've got it anyway. 3-1 Fnatic, the Nexus falls.
And what a performance from Fnatic. It looked close in that 3rd game, but they bounced back hard. They stomp XL. And they claim not only the title, the returning champions, but that trophy as well.
What an incredible game. What an incredible series by Fnatic Rising.
All right, and you can see the relief on their faces. And handshakes all around. And I'm sure that the XL boys are going to be going back to the drawing board with that one. Unfortunate loss for them. And there were moments of glory for XL. There truly was. There was individual massive highlight plays. Hyun and Taxa, both these guys popping off in big ways multiple times. We had some great plays across the board, but ultimately, Fnatic, they were the better team at the end of the day.
And it looks like they're gathering around the trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, Fnatic Rising!
Truly a team to behold. Phenomenal performance from them. You can see the joy on their faces. They were the first seed coming into the final. They were the ones with the more tower wins in the end. And now, not only are they your UKLC champions, declaring themselves the best team in the UK, they're also going to be grabbing that first seed position in the EU Masters tournament as well. This is a monumentous day for Fnatic Rising.
And look at that, X-Matty sits straight down. He wants to check the damage on that game.
Lots.
That was a lot of damage.
Got to give credit to XL though. They put up a good fight in the finals, and it's still an improvement from last split when they missed out on the EU Masters, when they missed out on the finals. So to achieve that, still a step in the right direction, but just not enough when it came down to it on the day. Fnatic showing why they have been a dominant team, but XL definitely putting up a good fight today.
Absolutely. They look really, really good in that game 3. Game 1 as well. What a solid start for XL. But they're still going to the European Masters. They're still representing the UK there.
But they're not the best team in the UK. That title has been taken away from them. And honestly, both of these teams put up such a great performance here today. It was an absolute pleasure watching these team fights between the two teams, watching the map play, especially, I think it was game 1. The skirmishing around the mid-game was just insane. Teleports all over the map. We had 3v3s while 1v1s were going on elsewhere in the map. It was utter chaos, and those games are so hard to play, but so satisfying.
And I've got to credit that, despite everything, XL have really managed to the early games. Taxa really positive in how he's aggressive in his invades, and having Kasing backing him up. Constantly found leads and made NG's life difficult, but in the end, it's still just not enough. It feels like the team fighting, the late game decision making that Fnatic have is just flawless. There's so little you can do to upset that even when you get a massive lead, it's just not necessarily enough that you're going to be able to close the game out.
And
One word to describe that game, that series, sorry, bloodbath. There was so many kills. It was so high octane. It was just brilliant to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it delivered. I'm glad that we got all these people to come all the way down to Twickenham, and we had a hell of a series. Little side didn't go all the way, but I am also very happy because I predicted 3-1 Fnatic. I continue to smurf predictions.
Yeah, but I continue to pierce predictions because I predicted XL, and look who won.
At least you got the number right this time.
True. Well, that's something.
I was just totally wrong, apparently. But honestly, I feel like a lot of people were expecting XL to be the favorites coming on into this one. It felt like, especially their game against Phelan, maybe put some false confidence into a lot of people's hearts.
I think the veteran status as well, it goes a long way, especially since we had 2 new members to Fnatic. We didn't know how they'd perform. Bando and Ronaldo, by no means were flawless. There were definitely mistakes. We saw that with that TP top side. We saw Ronaldo have a rough game on Morgana where he wasn't black shielding the stuns in time. But overall, they really melded well with the team and they came back so strong. And it showed why they've made these adjustments to the roster. They're performing in a really strong way, and I'm keen to see how they will do in the EU Masters because they'll have more time to practice together. They're coming off a win here. They're looking good, and I think XL as well to represent us in that international tournament.
Yeah, I think actually we got 2 really good teams representing us at EU Masters, so I'm really excited to see how the pair of them are going to perform. Remember, Fnatic Rising hit top 4 in the last season, which is the highest the UK teams have ever got, and I genuinely feel this is a vastly improved version of Fnatic from spring.
It's like EU going into Worlds, it feels like we legit have a chance this time. UK going into EU Masters, it feels like we legit have a chance this time. Like, these teams are so good, especially when they're playing on point, especially when their map play is good. We've seen XL doing insane stuff when they're coordinated and when they're working as a team.
Well, we want to give another shout out to our sponsor, one of our sponsors here at the UKLC for the Grand Finals. It was Chill Blast supplying us with all of the computers that the teams played on. and just giving us a buttery smooth experience in the grand finals. No pauses, no issues.
Yeah,
it
that's
just
rare.
went through nice and easy.
That's rare in the UK scene to not have a
Really
single
is.
pause.
I mean, it's rare just in esports, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the UK scene at this point. It's just how it is. But yeah, I mean, great stuff coming out from Chill Blast. Thank you for the PCs they worked magnificently. Big thumbs up from me.
And so did Fnatic. Got themselves a 3-1 over XL.
Yeah.
Man, I'm very excited to see what's happening because it's only like a week until EU Masters as well. So yeah, really, really exciting stuff. Pretty excited to see how they do.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I think the big thing for me is as well is that Fnatic have almost counteracted XL's playstyle. They have the strong early, and Fnatic's excellent team fighting and decision-making late game kind of counteracts that. So even when they get to late stages, can't close it out. These teams almost like met each other at different ends.
Yeah.
But going into EU Masters, I could see a lot of teams unable to contain XL's early game and not having the prowess that Fnatic does to beat them in the later stages. And so I think that despite the fact that XL go in this weaker seed, I think they can still make a great run. And I think Fnatic, they look in a good form to improve on their 4th place finish. And I know they've all said they want to. Everyone's gearing towards that #1 spot. This is a good stepping stone for it.
Definitely is, but you know, there's still got a lot to work on. I think, you know, they're definitely the best team in the UKLC. They're definitely the best league team here in the UK. But there are a lot of other bigger teams for them now to look at. So their attention has to turn. They've got a week to relax and prepare for that. I mean, actually, they don't because the play-ins starting a week. And so they've got 2 weeks to get themselves prepped and ready to go. But with that, we are going to be done here. So thank you, Orcs. Thank you much for joining me on the caster desk. We are going to be passing over to Excoundrel for an interview.
Very much, guys. Yes, I'm here with Bando on the stage, and you had an amazing performance across this series. I mean, really stepped up. Firstly, did you expect the series to go that way? Because even though it was 3-1, it feels like the games that you won were really dominant. Did you expect that coming into this?
I mean, normally we expected it to be easier. We expected it to be 3-0, to be honest. I mean, we know that the new roster is better than the old one, obviously. But yeah, I mean, the games were harder than we think, and yeah, good job to them.
Yeah, I mean, you guys played amazingly as well. And something that you mentioned is the roster recently formed, Shikari stepping down, Prosper stepping down, and you and Ronaldo coming in. Do you think, I mean, what is it so special about this roster? What is it that makes you so good as a team? Is there anything specific, or is it just the fact that you work really well together?
I mean, I think we're really good, like, individually first, and we have a lot of carry potential. Like, in all lanes we can carry, so I think it's a really good strength that we have. And even though Ronaldo is not a main support, he's really good. Like, he managed to get into this role super fast, so yeah, I mean, I just think that individually we are good, and as a team we are good, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone could dispute that with you guys having now taken the trophy. Also, you know, when we look at your roster, I feel like across this series, it just felt like your decision-making was better. It felt like the decisions that you were making in game felt cleaner, they felt more concise, and when you actually went for something, it looked like it worked out. Is there anything, like, how do you actually make decisions in game as Fnatic? Is there any one person, or is it like a team thing when you're in game?
I mean, like, everyone can, like, do a call or anything. Actually, our main shot caller is NG. He's really good at leading people, so well played to him. Otherwise, I don't think we weren't that clean during the series. I think we could, and a lot of our barons and things like this were not. We could have been, yeah, cleaner for sure. Yeah.
I think you can always look back and think you've done a little bit better. Obviously, it's a mark of a good athlete, I guess, looking back. But mentions over there on the casting desk, they did say that you're looking forward to the European Masters now. This is a big, big tournament in Europe, and everybody that knows that it is kind of the stepping stone to show yourself as talent. When you look towards the European Masters, which regions are you looking at specifically in terms of your biggest competition?
I think we are a good pretendant to finish like first, but I think like France is a really good region as well. Like either Vitality or LDLC are really good teams. So yeah, I think it will be our biggest opponents. Otherwise, I don't think that any other regions are as good as France or us. So I would like to see like a LDLC against Fnatic in final.
Well, that is coming up in September the 9th. We start the play-ins for the European Masters, where you will get to see Fnatic and also XL then taking part because they did secure a play-in spot. By the way, we have the MVP for that series. It will be xMatty over there in the AD carry role. He was voted the MVP, so well done to xMatty. But that about draws our tournament to a close. Thank you so much, Bando. Really thank you for the interview, and congratulations again for becoming the UKLC Grand Champions for the second time running, back-to-back champions for Fnatic Rising. But from everybody here, myself, all of our casters, all of our production team, and everybody at Twickenham, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.